Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day, everyone. I would like to explain about dental competencies. This is something that you need to do in your course information. Okay, so if you look at your course information in OBE document, you're gonna have one section called dental competency or competency. So that is something that we're gonna talk about now. Let me show you this dental competency. Normally, what you're gonna have is this table. I'm just gonna show you. This is the table that you're gonna have in your OB document under course information. So some of you might have the old version of dental competencies. So now I'm just going to explain to you to update the dental competencies to a newer version, which is version 2, 2021. Okay, the one I'm showing you now is in my document, which is the older version. So I need to update it. So you might want to hang on to this table. Otherwise, you can just upload or copy and paste it for a new one. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so for the sake of this briefing, I'm just going to delete the one I have now. Just hang on. Okay, I'm just going to cut it out. Okay. Before that, I'm just going to show you what you're going to do is in the OneDrive section in area 1, I have uploaded the UITM dental undergraduate competencies. Okay, so what you're going to do is just open this document. Basically, every university has to comply this dental competency for all undergraduate programs. So for UITM, we are going to make sure that the allocated competencies for our program is all complied by the courses that we have in the program. Okay, so the newer version of dental competency have slightly different domains. Previously, the domains were a little bit simple, but now it gets a bit more complicated. So it has PLO1 until PLO9. If you can see, some of the details here are a little bit different than last time. So please do make sure that you follow the new one. So what I'm going to ask you to do is when you log into the OneDrive that we share the link with you, find the file name UITM Dental Undergraduate Competencies, open it up like this, and review again which of the competencies that is relevant to your course. So I put up here, for example, my course, DDM 503. So I just match with any of the competencies mapped to the dental competencies that are available here. It might not be so much different than what you have for the old version, but some of the domains are new, so you might want to review again the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up my course code for any of the competencies that are pertinent to my code. So I just put my course code here in this column. Okay, I just put everything here. So when I put my course code here, right, I have to comply. How do I comply? That is, for example, if I put up number 5, distinguish the sign and symptoms of orofacial diseases and related systemic conditions. One of my SLO, okay, has addressed this. I can just copy paste for my SLO, and then the SLO must be clearly stated that this is the one that we have in our course. And don't forget, here they also map to C4, the level, the learning level, either cognitive, psychomotor, or effective. So for PLO1, it's actually cognitive only. So if you map your course to number 5, distinguish the signs and symptoms of orofacial diseases and related systemic conditions, you can put up as C4. However, you cannot map or you cannot downgrade it C3 or below. You can, however, put C5 and above. Okay, so for now, the minimum requirement for this one is distinguish the sign and symptoms of orofacial diseases and related systemic conditions, C4. And then if you want to put up a C5, you can do so, put up C5, and you have to change the um, action verb here to put up in your SLO. Okay, remember when you match to this one, the minimum requirement here is C4. Every SLO can be mapped to CLO, right? When you do the exam question, you always map SLO to CLO. So your CLO, when you map this, shouldn't be below um, to this C4. Okay, when you map it, shouldn't be at least not below than C4. If you put up C5, it shouldn't be below than C5 or higher than C5. Okay, so that is what you need to do. All right. Um, so when you map this one, okay, when you have mapped this one, you put your course code. It can be more than one course code, okay? So it doesn't matter how many course code, but at the end of the day, every competencies has at least one code that address the competencies, okay? We would have a problem if the row here is empty. That means nobody actually evaluate the competency for a particular row. Okay, so we hope that everyone will put up your course code here and map it to your course content. Okay, put out all the way until PLO 9. Okay, so my course only mapped to several PLOs. When you map to the several PLOs, you have to make sure that mapping is relevant in your CLO PO mapping, COPOMA, COLOCI, and all. Okay, all right, so let's look at the course info. So what you can do is you can copy all these. Okay, you can copy all this and paste it, copy and paste it in your document or course information document. Okay, when you paste it here, what you're going to do is delete the one that is not relevant to you. Okay, so I'm just going to paste it, Control V. Okay, so when I Control V here, I'm going to delete anything that is not pertinent to my course. That's the old one. This is the new one. So I can just delete this tree. So delete cells, delete entire row. Okay, so keep doing that for all the one that I did not map all the way. Okay, so that is just example. Leave the one that you just match. Okay, so delete the one that you did not match. Okay, all right, so that is example. I think that's easy. Once you do that, you need to open to ensure that this one is also comply with other OBE documents. For example, if you have mapped to, let me open again the whole thing here. If you have mapped to, for example, PLO number 4, communicate effectively with dental team and other health professional, patients, and the community. There is PLO in our document that map to this one. So if you put your course code here, make sure that you also tick to one of the PLO in your documents. Okay, so go back to the OBE So if you have map, for example, if you go to Koloki or Mohi KI, or even Kopo March, you open a Kopo March. Okay, so which PLO that you tick? So it has to be relevant to what you just tick to the competencies just now. So PLO 4, if you do not tick to PLO 4 here, means that you have got nothing to do with PLO 4 content. Again, please do remember this PLO is 11, the competencies is 9. So just go back and look at the content of PLO. So which PLO here address the PLO in dental competencies? For example, this is the PLO of our program. So our program has 11 PLO. So which PLO that in our program address communication? So let's look at it. So PLO 5 in our program address the communication. So if you chose the competencies for communication, so you have to tick at PLO 5, which is should be ticked to one of those course learning outcome. Okay. If I do not have it here in PLO 5, which is communication, so I do not have to choose from the PLO number 4 in dental competencies here. Okay, so that is just example how you ensure that you comply with this other thing. So I do not take PLO 5 for our program. That is equal to PLO 4 in dental competencies. So dental competencies PLO 4 is communication. Our dental program, our course or our program in dental UITM, PLO 5 is communication. So if you do not take PLO 5 here, if you do not match with the PLO 4 here, you don't have anything for PLO 5 in our program or in your course. Okay, so that's it. What you need to do, you have to match with this one and copy and paste into your course info and ensure that you have addressed accordingly in other mapping as well. All right, I hope that's helped. Thank you, everyone.